Minus one day, less than 24 hours to our date with Destiny once again. Another Champions League final. I wouldn't have imagined if you told me 2 years ago. And yet, here we are, guys. And I am starting to brick it. I'm feeling confident. I am feeling positive. But now the expectation, the nervousness, the anticipation is starting to hit ahead of tomorrow. Last preview of the year, last preview of the season, guys. Let's lock in. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You know what the mission is. Get the 4th star. We need one more star up there. And we need to take revenge from the oil club who won it last time to another oil club, Paris Saint-Germain. I wasn't able to get the preview in with the PSG fan. My apologies, my bad. People that work in the corporate world will know when you're about to go on a holiday like I am, you end up doing more work for the holiday. And then when you come back from holidays, you have to double up on the work to catch up from your holiday. So, yeah, it wasn't even the PSG guy's fault. It was, Stuart, the guy that if you might have seen him in the video for Sport Bible, I just wasn't able to link up with him. But before we get into the preview for tomorrow's massive Champions League final, again, we're in the Champions League final, guys. Shouts out, and maybe it's a good omen, to our youth team. The Primavera today have won officially the Primavera Scudetto. They beat Fiorentina in the final. It's a little bit of a different setup as they do in the Primavera. They actually end up doing like a semi-final and a final to decide the winner, and they won it 2-0 against Fiorentina. So shouts out to them. Great season for them. 11th Scudetto, which obviously means none of these guys will ever play for the first team. But yeah, the young boys are getting it done. So hopefully the big boys tomorrow, the big boys can do it and deliver the Champions League to us. Now let's get into tomorrow's game. And I start on a bit of a negative note, guys, because I did not know this. And this is a crazy stat, guys. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And I don't know how this has happened. Like, can someone explain this? So the Champions League official account posted this earlier today, and they said, "What do you notice?" And as soon as you see it, like there's something wrong. You just see like the left-hand side has won every single game, which means the home side since 2014. I don't know if this goes further back than that, but since 2014, the home side has always, every single time, won the Champions League final without fail, apart from here when they went to penalties, Real Madrid. What the hell? Can someone explain this? Because the home status in the Champions League final doesn't really matter much because you don't get more allocation for fans, or you're not playing at home unless you somehow end up playing at home. The stadium ends up coinciding. But what what are we playing against? What kind of stat is this to play against? This makes you sometimes think that some of those conspiracy theories out there in terms of UEFA or something could be right. Like, and obviously PSG are the home team in this case, so that's got me bricking it. And then of course there's that fact that whenever a final has been played at the Allianz Arena in Munich, there's always been a new Champions League winner, and of course that wouldn't be Inter because we've got 3. That would be PSG. The oil club will be pumping money to try to win their first Champions League, so that's that. Then there's this year of the underdog, or the year, or not actually the underdog because that would have helped us, but it's the year of the trophy drought, ending trophy droughts, like we talked about it. Crystal Palace, Spurs, all these teams around Europe that have been doing it. And that would be for PSG as well. I don't know I guess they've never had this trophy, but Champions League drought. So there's all these different things, right? But regardless of that, I just wanted to share that with you. And you probably wish that I didn't share that with you, but I had to share it with you. And of course, we've been watching I have been, I don't know about you guys, I've watched pretty much every single interview that I could find of Inter players, Inzaghi interviews, any of the Inter legends talking about it. I've even watched some PSG stuff. And let me tell you, the reason why I'm getting a bit confident is because I'm getting the vibes of the Man City game. Like, it feels like a lot of the neutrals and especially on that other side, in the French side, they're all just fairly feeling very confident about PSG. A lot of the neutrals are pointing towards PSG winning. Um, I saw some PSG's legends and former players, all of them saying, "Oh yeah, PSG will win." French players, former French players, all saying easy win for PSG, and I like that. I like that. You know, we surprised the world last time in the Champions League final. Everyone thought it was going to be easy. Oh, Man City treble winners is going to be easy win. You know, in reality, we outplayed, we outcreated that Man City team. I know there's pressure on Inter because, of course, we've lost a Scudetto and we've got this pressure of winning it the second time in a row. Can't lose the final second time in a row. But also put yourself in the shoes of PSG. They've got the weight of French football in terms of, you know, when's the last time a French team won the Champions League? They've never won it as well. So there's a big actual pressure on PSG as well on that, and of course all the money and the wages they spend. It's not like they're a young team, but it's not like a cheap young team. This is a really expensive as young team, and a very expensive coach with big pedigree. So if anything, there's just as much pressure on PSG for this. And of course, I watched all the Inzaghi interviews. Again, I'm not going to get into his future, whether he's staying or not. I do have my opinion on this. I have shared it earlier today on the Culture Chacha. If you check out the channel, the boys from India who talk about culture, check out the channel. I did share what my hunch is on the whole Inzaghi thing, but I'm not going to share it on the channel because I just want to focus on tomorrow. After tomorrow, we can talk about it. Well, actually, I'm going on holiday, so you guys can talk about it. I'm going to take a break, but. Yeah, Inzaghi obviously talks about many things, but my one key takeaway from Inzaghi's press conference was this: actually, the fact that out of 59 games played this season, he's only had the entire squad available 3 times this season. That is crazy, 3 times. Not that that's usually turned out very well, because when we've had a full strength squad, I think it was the Milan derby that we lost and the draw to Napoli, and maybe some other time that I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's not actually worked out very well having the whole squad available and all the big players available. But it's quite interesting to, that he is pointing that out, and it's true. This has been such a tough, grueling season on the players physically. We know how many, not major injuries, but we've had little injuries throughout the season. And tomorrow, Inzaghi really can pick whoever he wants, but we know in the end who he'll pick. Barella was next to Inzaghi. Lautaro was next to Inzaghi as well, but Barella confirmed. So Gazzetta the other day revealed that the yellow kit that unfortunately we'll be wearing for the final tomorrow, guys. I don't know if you know this, but we're wearing the third yellow kit. Not the away kit, not the home kit, the yellow, ugly kit that still hasn't really grown on me too much. But obviously, I would love it. It would be my favorite kit of all time if we win in it tomorrow. But Barella confirmed what Gazzetta actually said. So you can see sometimes these newspapers do have proper inside sources. That it was the players that chose it. They had the option. They could have picked the away kit, and they chose the yellow one because superstition. These Italians, super superstitious. Because they haven't lost with the yellow kit in Europe, whereas with the away kit they've lost. They went ahead with the yellow kit. So little interesting insight from Barella, who also revealed other nice things. He was there when we lost the last time. Both Lautaro and him said they've learned from that loss. They're going to take those learnings into this game. So I hope they're right. They said they're more mature. They said they're ready for the battle. And Barella said he's ready for that midfield battle. But you need the whole team, of course, all those saying all the right things. And then, I was talking about the pressure on the whole footballing world and everything, and the French football. Actually, a lot of French football, especially Marseille fans, are rooting for Inter. And you see here, Eric Cantona, Man United and French football legend, repping Inter's new. So it's an unofficial announcement for Inter's new 25-26 kit, which I'm not too much of a big fan of. I think we've talked about it a few months ago when there was the original leaks. I will do a video on it once it's officially released and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if he meant to, if he knew about it. I don't know if this is real or not. But he's basically the soft launch for the new kit. But this is, all there was some news article saying how Marseille, the whole in the city of Marseille, Inter kits are selling out because all Marseille fans are buying Inter kits. So shout out to Marseille. I wish they bought Correa off us last season. They should have, but I'll forgive them for that because they're supporting us in this one. Speaking of Lautaro, yeah, he was part of the press conference. But before the press conference, we saw Lautaro in tears again, and obviously tomorrow we hope to see him in positive tears, not the tears that we saw in Istanbul after Man City game. But Sky Sport Italia showed him a video compilation of messages from his family, his wife, his dad, his brothers, sisters, whatever, friends. And yeah, this guy always, he's very emotional, wears his heart on the sleeve. He got emotional, and hopefully he can deliver that Champions League for them tomorrow, for his kids, for his wife and his family. What a guy, man. What a guy. Can only respect Lautaro in the way he, carries the shirt, but also his family on his back. And of course, let's get to the lineups. No shock, no surprises, as Inzaghi has the best lineup available, all the players available. This is, I think, if you ask me, day one of the season, this is the best lineup that Inzaghi would put in a final. And that is exactly the lineup that Inzaghi, May 31st, will put up tomorrow. The only doubt would be Benji Pavard, who has basically been out for more than a month now. So coming back after that long straight into a Champions League final could be risky. But, there's also been a long build up to this game because we played Friday. So we've had more than a week in terms of rest and preparation to get ready for this. So I hope Benji is fully ready. Of course, he's in terms of Champions League title winning, he's actually our most experienced player in this team. So hopefully his know-how, his experience, his winning mentality can help us tomorrow. I hope if Bisek has to come in, it doesn't, we recently in this season, he's made some mistakes, but maybe it might be even best to bring on Darmian in the second half if you need to, kind of hold on to a lead or try to hold the result. All due respect to Jan Bisek, who is a great talent, a great player, but just in terms of, experience, maybe even Stefan de Vrij, it's one of those times we cannot make any mistakes. And of course, everywhere else, there's nothing to discuss. Denzel Dumfries, I think he's got one more, guys. I think he's got one more iconic, big performance in him against Nuno Mensch, their left back, the star boy left back. I think this guy has got one more in him. And if he does it, guys, this guy is going to seal himself into folklore. If he delivers a big performance like he did against Barcelona in the semis, this guy could really become an Inter legend with the way that he's played this season, Denzel. And I think he will score tomorrow, guys. I see Denzel scoring tomorrow. And I want to see Inter dominate PSG physically tomorrow. That has to be the number one priority. In midfield, although they are small, the PSG guys, do not let them fool you. Do not let those guys fool you. Let me bring up the PSG lineup, especially Joao Neves. That guy, you cannot be fooled by that guy because he is an engine. He's a little pit bull. Vitinha as well. Premier League flop or even Championship flop actually at Wolves, but he's playing different. The way they press this PSG team is very intense. Fabian Ruiz, who was one of my favorite players when he used to be at Napoli, non-Inter players in Serie A, but he never quite lived up to his talent level. Now he is living up to it. And the funny thing is, he's the tallest / most physical player in that midfield, in theory. But actually, I think these two are the ones that are going to give us the tough time physically. Like, they run around like little madmen, like little pit bulls, whereas Ruiz is a lot more slower and a lot more positional and methodical. But in terms of everywhere else, I think we need to be winning the battles. Our centre backs, in terms of in the air, set pieces, that needs to be food for them, attacking and defending. I want set pieces again. We are officially the best set piece team in the Champions League this year. and one of the best in Europe in the leagues as well. We have to take advantage of that. We even saw that against Lazio. The 2 goals we scored came off set pieces. Against Barcelona, lots of goals coming off set pieces. That has to be the end game. Their 2 centre backs, Marquinhos, that's always been one of his weaknesses. He's a great all-round centre back, but in the air, he's not very tall, and he's not definitely his best attribute. Pacho, he's better. He's quite a beastly centre back. But then Nuno Mendes and Hakimi, we know Hakimi. I mean, of course, as Interisti, we'll probably expect Hakimi to score the goal of the X. But we know defensively, this guy, he can switch off. He has those lapses in concentration. He doesn't like heading the ball. He doesn't like putting his foot or his head where the ball, where it hurts. Nuno Mendes, he's young. He's pocketed Salah this season in the Champions League, but he can have those lapses in concentration, in positioning. He's not the finished article yet. Donnarumma, the Donnarumma-Zoma battle. What a battle! Probably the 2 best goalkeepers in this competition. As shot stopping, Donnarumma's probably is the best in the world right now, alongside Alisson, in my opinion, and Courtois. But corners, this guy on corners, my goodness, really shaky. If you watch the PSG versus Aston Villa versus Arsenal, when players are in and around him, pushing him, nudging him, he panics. When he needs to come out, claim the ball, his massive frame does usually help him, but sometimes he's flapping. He messes up. Sometimes he wins fouls that he shouldn't win because of the way that he falls down and gets a bit lucky. But obviously, apart from that, I'm expecting him to make some crazy, crazy saves where we're just like, how the hell did we not score that? Edison in Istanbul, basically. But I'm also expecting Jan Zoma to come clutch for us. Of course, the Dembele versus Acerbi matchup, where probably Acerbi is never really going to get matched up against Dembele, because Dembele is going to be here, but just not here most of the time. You might see Due coming in here. You might see Kvara coming in here. So that's going to be interesting. We know this is where our defenders don't like playing like this with no reference points. We like playing against the Haaland, against the Osimhen, against the Harry Kane. Against these floaters, we can struggle. But I trust our boys to do it. The PSG high line is a high line, but it's not a Barcelona type high line that is a crazy harakiri suicide high line that we took advantage of. But it's still a high line. They still like to press up high. They like to go man for man. And if you can play out from the back, out of that pressure, if you can play balls in behind to Thuram, to Martinez, and mainly to Denzel Dumfries, we can once again cause chaos, cause havoc, and reap benefits. And I just need our big players to turn up tomorrow. Barella, I need him to show why he's a top 5 midfielder that we always say he is. Lautaro, massive campaign until now in the Champions League. Deliver us that Champions League, bro. Deliver it. Thuram, 2025 hasn't been good, but 1 goal tomorrow and you go down into history. Mkhitaryan, this guy barely scores. He's got like 1 goal this season, bro. He's going to get space with that high press. They're going to bypass the midfield, sometimes even pressing. So there will be a spare man from one of either Barella and Mkhitaryan if they move smartly in the transition. Mickey, my eyes are on you. DiMarco, that left foot, either of crosses, corners, it needs to be on point. Hakan, we need you back at your best. And of course, it's not just about the starting 11, the substitutes. Whoever comes on tomorrow needs to be on point. Frattesi, our dog. If he comes on and we need a goal, he's scoring. Taremi, that lockdown job he did on Lamine, if we need him, he's coming on and doing it. Even Arnautovic, guys, I have faith in all of these guys to come on and do the job. I have faith. My prediction is a 1-1 in full time. Then it goes to extra time and we win it. Definitely don't want to go to penalties with Donnarumma because that guy is the best in the world at penalties. But that is my prediction. A tight affair, as always. these finals have hardly ever go past more than 2 goals, and I don't see this one going past 2 goals. I see it very cagey, very tight. And I see, as I said, Denzel Dumfries scoring for us, maybe a Kvara or a Hakimi goal for PSG, and then in extra time, a Frattesi or a set-piece goal from one of our centre-backs to win it. And then we are in heaven, and we are lifting that 4th UCL, hopefully. That was my preview, guys. I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. I don't want to see no negativity FC down there. It's the last game of the season, our second final in 3 years. Do not take it for granted. I know we're disappointed about the Scudetto, but do not take this for granted, guys. Ask Christian Vieri how many Champions League finals he got to. Ask Recoba. Ask Ronaldo, R9. Ask Javier Zanetti how many finals he got to. Did he get to 2 Champions League finals? This is something rare that this Inter team has done, and in the space of 3 years. So don't take it for granted. Enjoy, and let's hope for the best. But regardless of the outcome tomorrow, guys, always love for the badge, always love for Inter, always love for Inzaghi and the boys. Ciao ragazzi, always, Forza Inter. Let's bring that 4th home.